You're about to see food, but not the kind you expect. Meals designed not for taste, but for control, for punishment, for survival, and some of these should have never existed. Because by the time you reach number 3, you'll question what food even means. And number 1. It was so controversial. People demanded it be banned. This is not cooking, this is history. At its darkest. Around the world, prisons didn't just lock people away. They controlled something even more powerful. Food. What you ate decided how long you survived, how strong you stayed, and sometimes how quickly you broke. This was not food. This was survival. Let's begin. In some prisons, inmates were given something called bread and water. Sounds simple, right? Just dry bread and plain water. But here's the truth. This wasn't a meal. It was a punishment. Days, sometimes weeks, with almost no nutrition. The goal wasn't to feed you, it was to weaken you. Your body slows down, your mind gets foggy, and eventually you stop resisting. That was enough. In parts of Eastern Europe, there was a dish made from spoiled cabbage soup. Sour, rotten, barely edible. But prisoners still ate it, because hunger doesn't give you choices. This wasn't cooking. This was endurance. In older American prisons, there was something called Nutriloaf, a mix of leftovers blended into a solid block. No flavor, no texture, no dignity. It looked like food but felt like punishment. And prisoners hated it so much, it became a symbol of control. In war prisons, some inmates survived on boiled grass and weeds. Yes, grass, pulled straight from the ground, boiled into something barely swallowable. This was not food. This was desperation. In certain Asian prisons, thin rice porridge was the only meal, mostly water, with a few grains floating inside. It filled your stomach, but gave you almost nothing, just enough to keep you alive. In harsh labor camps, salted fish scraps were common. Extremely salty, barely cleaned, sometimes half-rotten. But when your body is breaking, you eat anyway. Because you have to. Now pause for a second. Here's what no one tells you. These meals weren't accidents. They were designed, carefully calculated to keep prisoners alive, but never strong. And this is where things get worse. In some places, prisoners were fed only potatoes. Morning, night, every day, no variation, no balance. Over time, your body starts to fail, but still, you eat. Because that's all there is. There were prisons where inmates received watery bean soup, with insects still inside. And no, it wasn't a mistake. It was ignored. Protein is protein. That was the mindset. In extreme conditions, some prisoners ate leather. Yes, leather, boiled belts, shoes softened in water. Anything to trick the body into thinking it was eating. In overcrowded prisons, meals were often just rice mixed with sand or dirt. Whether by accident or neglect, it didn't matter. You still ate it. Because hunger is stronger than disgust. In some systems, meals were intentionally undercooked. Hard grains with raw centers. They were incredibly difficult to digest. Your stomach struggles and your energy drops. This wasn't cooking. This was control. In certain African prisons, inmates survived on cornmeal paste. Dry, heavy, tasteless. It sticks in your throat. But it keeps you standing. Barely. There were reports of soup made from animal bones boiled again and again until nothing remained, just flavored water. A memory of nutrition. In older facilities, food was sometimes served cold on purpose, even in winter, because comfort was not allowed. This is where things change. Because now, we're not just talking about survival, we're talking about control through suffering. In some prisons, food portions were tied to behavior. Disobey, and you eat less. Starvation as discipline. In extreme punishment cases, meals were replaced with food blocks, compressed, tasteless, repetitive. You eat the same thing again and again and again, until your mind breaks. There were times when prisoners shared one meal between many. Not enough for everyone, so people fought. Harshest conditions, some prisoners ate rats, not by choice but because hunger doesn't wait. This was not food, this was survival. In certain systems, spoiled meat was still served. The smell, unbearable. The risk, real. But refusing meant starvation. So people ate. The most controversial prison meal, Nutriloaf, again, but this time used as punishment. Blended leftovers, baked into a brick, given for days, no taste, no choice, no escape. It sparked outrage. Legal battles. Human rights debates. Because people asked one question. When does food stop being food? And maybe the real question is, how far can the human body go? When survival is the only goal. Because these weren't recipes, they were strategies, they were control, they were survival. So tell me, which one shocked you the most? And more importantly, could you survive on any of these? Comment below. Because once you understand this, you never look at food the same way again.